it in your system. Everybody get it poppin'. We gon' keep it rockin'.
Power 95, where music lives. The views expressed in the following program aren't necessarily those of Power 95. Ladies Room. Come see you compliments. Renwick Thompson and Company Limited. Agents for Western Union.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they're prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
My people die. Stand up and look fancy, turn your body to a mash pit. Cause Soca is a army and a rolling with a bad team and a fool with a party. No master pass it, are you ready? Shut down pass it, are you ready? Get on pass it, are you ready? Madman pass it, are you ready? Push on pass it, are you ready? Demolition pass it, are you ready? If you think you're up on your head, don't back, follow me and we mash up the party. Follow me.
This has a jumbie. I swear this song has a jumbie. It's one of those songs that make you want to do things you don't normally do, right? And behave in a way and a manner that you don't normally do. It's super infectious. It has this energy. I love it. Killer and of course Kevin Crown, Follow Me. I can see this one doing a lot of damage throughout the season. It's going to be an interesting one to watch. So I'm definitely keeping my eyes on it. But of course, Killer has a formula for these songs that gives instructions. I mean, he's got it down pat. He knows exactly how to get us to do what we don't normally do. Yeah, that boy ever jumpy. Follow me inside the ladies' room. We're back at it again. Good morning, everybody. I trust you all had a good night and you're up and running one more time. Energized, pumped, filled with positive and good energy. Yeah? So good morning to you. Good morning, Christelle. Good morning, Shante. Good morning, Linda. Good morning. Hold on, I need to pull this up some more. Who else is here? Onika. Good morning. Top of the morning, Jay. Good morning, Val. Good morning. Good morning, Sonia. Good morning, Val. Good morning, Terrence. Good morning, gentlemen on problems. I mean, good morning, ladies on problems. Yeah, good morning. Come on in and hit the live button, guys. Hit the share button, that is. We got a lot to talk about this morning. Morning, Hummelin. Good morning to our viewers on YouTube. Good morning to our listeners via radio, or if you're listening online, good morning and welcome to the show. Val says, thank God for life. Just got my workout fully energized. Yep. I was just telling a friend that, people don't understand the importance of, and I've started back doing my thing. I'm in two minds about the gym. I think like walking and doing, me and my dog, doing our own little running up and down in the yard because he loves to run. So I've started doing the running thing with him, like who could run faster? So we'll be running. Thank God I've got enough yard space. So we'll be running up and down, up and down, up and down. And I'm kind of on the fence with the gym because hear this. I'm not sure that you're supposed to, how would I put this? Like going to the gym should not feel like you come out and work 50 acres of land. It is supposed to be something you do at your own pace, whether you target legs today, abs tomorrow, triceps, biceps, glutes. But I'm looking at videos of people in the gym and it's almost like another hard day work you don't get paid for, but health-wise, that's your payment. That's your That's what you pay yourself. And I've been going to the gym, but sometimes I leave and I'm like, I'm tired. My body hurts. And I have to tell my trainer, listen, I'm not no man. Stop working me out. I don't want to be, I'm not going for Miss World. I'm not going in no competition. Let's go easy, you know? Let's take it easy. I ain't come here to spend no hour and 2 hours. What y'all be doing in the gym for 2 hours? Let me do a nice 45 brisk, 35 to 45 brisk workout and let me go my way. But y'all be working people out like if you have problems and you say, you know what? Let me take out my stress on her today. Do 20 lunges, do 50 push-ups, we be falling out all the time. And he's like, you don't listen. I'm like, yeah, listen, but I also know my body. You're giving me all these instructions, but I am the one doing it, and I know my body. And my body is telling me I don't need to do all of this right now. I don't need to stress, push myself so hard. I just want to keep fit. I just want to be healthy. Listen. I'm not here to die on no equipment. I'm not here to die. All right? Because your heart be racing and pumping. Sometimes your heart be beating so fast you swear your heart is outside your body. You know the intensity of it. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to take it easy today. Yeah? So Marshall, like, you want people like I'm vain like man. I'm telling you, sometimes I be telling him, listen, dude, I'm not a man. Like, I am just, let's just be easy. All right? Let's just be easy. Morning, sure. Good morning, Marianne. Morning, Chavosky, leave me alone. Listen, you have to be so disciplined to go to the gym. It requires a whole lot of discipline. Because the one time, all it takes is one day you'll be like, I'm a rest today. Then tomorrow it's another excuse. It's like, let me take a little breather tomorrow. And before you know it, were you shaking your head about you, Mr. Scratch Master? And before you know it, you ain't go for the whole week. And then you have to start all over again. And then you gotta hot up all your muscles again because you took a break. Excuses. And then you start back again, and then you're in pain all over again. It's like, I know, listen, I have mad respect for people who go to the gym every single day of the week. Mad respect. Y'all are disciplined to a T. Mad respect. Anika says, and that is another thing. That's a serious misconception. A lot of people think because you're slim or you're on the smaller side that you don't need to go to the gym. It's not necessarily to lose. We need to do a lot of education where that is concerned, because people seem to think that only if you're big or you have a weight to lose, you're supposed to go to the gym. You keep fit. You tone up. That is why you have people who know what they're about, so they target whatever you want them to target. So you just keep fit. So that's why I say if you're slim, you don't need to work out so hard, Maury. You don't need to work out so hard because you don't want all the everything to turn into big hard muscles. And people are running you and you ain't even touching you and they even know if they're touching muscles or if they're touching woman. Listen, take your time. Okay? That's all. I'm sure so. Yeah, it does. It takes a lot of discipline because all it takes is you saying one day I don't feel like it, and then it throws you off completely. And then you have to have people who motivate you. But if you have people like Onika who say, well, you're skinny already, instead of saying, hey, let's go, you need a good gym buddy. When you feel like, hey, I feel like going in the gym today, nah? He or she be like, listen, girl, let's go. I'm coming to get you, let's go. Or meet me so-and-so. But then you have friends like Onika, etc., who telling you that you're skinny already. That is all you need to hear. And before you know it, you ain't going nowhere. So, it requires discipline and it requires, serious, motivation. And I have people, so much herself, she goes every day. It's a man for me. Johnny Bravo, only chest they will kill on. I know a couple, they go to the gym every day and they walk up chest, arms, their back, and it's like they're walking on two sticks. They don't do everything. Anyway, so Before we get into today's topic, I want to talk about something that most of you probably saw or heard about that is on social media, and it's to do with that young man who made that video. There's another one which I was told that it was a prank and it's a joke. And be that as it may, and I'm talking directly now to parents, children are seriously being bullied and peer pressured into doing things they don't want to do. And on top of that, we have social media platforms that comes up with all these crazy things for teens and teenagers to do. This challenge, that challenge. I was looking at the news yesterday. I saw a story online. I was on Facebook. Yeah, was it what today is? Wednesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. Yeah. So yesterday afternoon, I came across this video on my page, and a young man who just graduated from school in the U.S. Him and his friends, as part of their graduation, send off or what have you, they went on a cruise, chartered some boats, and they were out in the ocean. And he was dared. Someone dared him to jump into the water. In the middle of the ocean, dark as night, no light. It's not like daytime. I'm telling you, pitch dark. This young man jumped into the water. And you know what happened? Up to this point, his body has not been found. On a day. And his peers in the background, do it, do it, do it. And then another one shouted out, "Isn't that a shark or something?" And then you hear a whole lot of screaming. And that was it. Coast Guard been trying to find, and they up to now have not found the body, and had to tell his parents they've called off the search because they've come up with nothing. He was like, 16, 17. On a dare from friends. That is why you have to empower your children to be leaders and not followers. And not because Tom says you have to do something, you should do it. You should be able to look Tom in the eyes and say to you, "Tom, no, I'm not doing this." But so many with this, and you have adults who feel this urge to, this need to fit in and this need to be relevant. Because I'll be seeing some of y'all be posting all sort of, crazy stuff. And I'm like, was that even necessary? Because, yeah, you get a 2 laugh and a 2 likes, but some people, even adults, are fighting daily to just maintain this relevance on social media. And I just honestly don't think it's that serious. Because here you are going above and beyond, either to be mean, shady, and all sorts of things to impress who? We really don't care, It is like just entertainment for us. When we scroll past and we put some reaction, we move on. We move. But you're sitting there probably in your little glee, "Oh, I got so and so amount of likes and followers and comments." And when people move on and they like your stuff, it's... Well, for me, I don't really care much. In the Bahamas. Okay, so Trisha, you saw the story as well. Yep. Went cruising to celebrate graduating from school. Moving on to the next chapter of their lives, and that young man did not make it. But back to the video. Whether it is a prank, whether it was a joke, it was not funny. Especially the things that were uttered in the video. I don't get the purpose. And like I said, there's a lot of challenges and dares going around. Oh, do this, do that. So you just do it because you want to be in the in crowd. You want to be part of the it crowd. You want to, you want to be part of the, you want to be in thing. So you just do it. It is kind of sad that you think you'd have to go to such lengths to impress your little friends or whatever the case might be. And just imagine what your parents, who probably trying so hard to make sure that you have everything you need, there for you and supporting you. And then you're there making a big boo-boo of yourself. These aren't things, because as much as you may delete, things never, it does not leave the internet. As much as you try to delete, there's somebody else who has it. You always leave your footprints. So even though you delete it, it's still there. And why is it that's the image you want other people to look at you in? How do you sit there and be like, oh, I'm gay and I like man and I do this? Lord Father, sometimes when you hear people talking about children are a blessing, sometimes you have to be like, thank you, Lord, I don't have to go through some of these things parents probably have to go through on a daily basis. Because imagine fighting so hard to give your children or your child a good education, a good foot in life. You make so much sacrifices. Sometimes you don't have it for yourself, but you go out and get it. You do without it because you want your child to have a better chance than you did, to have more opportunities than you did. You make tremendous sacrifices on a daily basis. And your son or daughter is just out here letting other people's children who ain't had nothing to lose influence them into doing nonsense. Parenting isn't easy because at least back in the day we didn't have all these things parenting your children. You have a little TV, a little black and white big back TV. You have a little antenna outside. Somebody go and turn it. And you watch Knight Rider, A-Team, and to you that was the highlight of your youth. You go outside, you make your roller, you play some marbles, you play bobo. When all saints come around, you bust your bamboo. When school is on vacation, you're in the river catching fish and roasting breadfruit. Yeah, millennials, I swear, I mean, I'm grateful for the era that I grew up with because I'm getting to experience the best of both worlds. But if I had to choose, because these things are so much distractions, because, just the other day I was saying, I was lamenting, of course, about not having TV, and I'm like, wow. I haven't read a full book in like ages because with the Facebook and this and that, and I actually was able to read. Back in the day, reading was something you did for enjoyment. You couldn't wait for your classmate to finish with a book so you can get it. You couldn't wait to get a little Nancy Drew and a little Mills and Boone, a little Harley Quinn. You couldn't wait to get a little Archie. Because there were parents who could afford to buy, books. Some parents couldn't afford to buy any book except your school book, so you waited to get your turn. Those were the things that you did for enjoyment. You didn't think about making video to put on no platform on a dare as a challenge or not. How about we come up with some more enlightening and positive challenges, like who could read the most amount of books in a week? How about a business place challenge, a school or a community? How about we set up little book stalls in communities and we have challenges how many books you could read in a day or in a week, and you get a prize. At the end of it, tell us about the book. Give us a little synopsis on what the book was about. How about those challenges? How about we challenge you to be more kind to people in your community? An elderly person or a family that may be, disadvantaged. How about we challenge ourselves in why are we always looking for things that makes no sense? Onika, you know how much books, Mills and Boone I used to be hiding inside my school book when I'm supposed to be studying? Because all it had was a little Mills and Boone was a little kiss, and he touched her gently. And you're there, you're together, you're giggly, and you're like big. But now everything is like in your face. Advertisements. You go on the computer, you go on social media. First thing you see somebody bam in your face, talking away. It's like so out there now. Back in the day, little Mills and Boone, two little kiss, and he hugged her and draw her closely to him, and you there and you and your parents didn't even want you to read those. And there wasn't nothing, those were like the Bible compared to what we have now. When you think back, look back on what some of these books had, they were nothing. But they didn't want you to read them. So regardless if it's a prank or it's for real. Oh yes, Sweet Dreams. I could forget Sweet Dreams. And Sheena says, just like we were at the age, you're not understanding how they're damaging the future. That is true. That is why I'm saying, Sheena, now with the advent of so much information at our disposal as parents, the onus is on you to try as best as you can to have these conversations, these frank, open conversations. Because it seems as though we just fear talking all around. We get into relationships like we were saying yesterday. We don't discuss, we don't ask the hard questions. You make children and you're afraid to be open. I admire relationships where parents and children, they're like friends, you know, like good best friends, but there are still boundaries. You still know that you're child and I'm parent, but you have that comfortable bond where your child would prefer come to you first before go to anybody else. Your child will come to you, could talk to you about any and everything, or there's this girl that like me, there's this girl that I check for, or I'm having problems with my friend, or this teacher, or something. But we have this sort of big stick, do as I say, not as I do, that even your own child afraid to speak to you for fear of how you would respond. Your child should be able to feel so comfortable coming to you first before anybody else. At least they're coming and they're going to get solid advice and not go to their little friends who will tell them all kind of nonsense. I looked at it and I felt like, when I saw that video, I felt like, oh my gosh, boy, I wish I could go back to my teen years, because there's so many things you thought you knew that you could undo and do right. Like do it right and do it over. So like when you see children, you want to literally shake them and be like, don't do this. You're going to have to live with the consequences forever. And then there are some that you'll talk to and talk to and talk to, and they're going to do what they want to do anyways. But at the end of the day, you can say, you know what? I honestly gave this 100. I honestly gave this 150. I honestly tried my best. So whatever decision John makes, whatever decision Patrick makes, at the end of the day, I know I did my best. But there are a lot of you who can't say that. It goes beyond the food, clothing, and shelter. Try being a friend to your children. Try talking to your children. Try getting them to be comfortable and open about everything. Stop telling them, oh, you're too rude and you have vice if they have sex questions. And you're full of vice and you're too rude and study a book. Oh, hello. Book isn't the only thing they're going to experience when they get out into the world. They're going to have sex. They're going to have relationships. Everything is a go in your book and study your book. That is why when some come out, they're awkward, socially awkward. They don't know how to mix. They don't know how to mingle. They don't know how to make decisions. Because all they know is book, book, book. Study your book. Go in your book. you're playing man and you're pee making froth and you're playing this and you're playing little old man and you want man, and some of the things I hear people telling their children, I'm like, y'all be making some decisions that mess up your life, and then you take your rage, your issues, and your problems out. Some of the things I hear some parents telling their children, I'm like, Jaja. How do you make your child? Watch your child grow from a baby, getting into adulthood, body going through hormonal changes and all sorts of things, and forgetting that that was once you once felt that way, and how your parents responded to you. Why would you want to respond the same way to your child? Knowing how you felt when you were not able to have open, frank conversations with your parents. You were not able to go to mommy or daddy and talk to them about anything. Wouldn't you want to have like a real tight relationship with your children? Instead of telling them they're ugly like their big head father, and you like man and you this, that, or the other. Sheena says you gotta constantly talk to your children. Peer pressure and the need to fit in. It is real, because I'm telling you, even adults are doing it. So what makes you think it's easier for children? There are so many adults I see daily on the social media platforms trying their darndest to fit in. Like some of the things they say and some of the things that they do. And I'll be like, yo, dude, it's not that serious. Chill, man. What is this person saying? Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. I saw the video yesterday of the schoolboy in his uniform. And that is the thing, in his uniform. The way I was, and I think every convent girl could attest to that, like how fearful you were in your little brown skirt and beige shirt, walking through town in your uniform, or walking through Grenville in your uniform, and your parent or a teacher or the principal or somebody seeing you. And then you stand up talking to a little boy, and the time you see them coming, the speed you take off with, you are so afraid of being caught in your uniform. But now it's like, whatever, like, okay, no big deal. I say this again, I don't envy y'all at all. Sheena says, when my son told me how his peers cannot talk to their parents about certain issues, I was shocked. I'm like, but who are they supposed to talk to? As parents, you cannot instill too much fear in our children. They need to respect us, but they can't fear us to the point they will not come to us. And that is my point exactly. I tell my son, just come and tell me there's nothing you cannot come to me with. I will help you solve any problem. Even if you're wrong, I will help you. And that is what I'm saying. But people equate fair with respect. They're not the same. A lot of parents prefer children to be fearful of them than respectful. Or me making joke with here, busting him out, or busting him out, or doing this, that, or the other. It's always something violent, something threatening, something abusive, something. We have some learned behaviors we need to unlearn. Our parents and foreparents didn't do us right at all. But this beating mentality is like you can't parent without beating. But my question is, how come you beat a child for doing something? And in most cases, they do the same thing again. Because you already know, okay, she'll just beat me again, so what? Why are we so afraid to communicate? Why are we so afraid to have conversations? Be open, be frank, be able to give your children that safe place where they're free to speak, free to communicate with you what's going on with them. I can think of no greater joy than having a child who can tell me anything and is not afraid. And we can talk about things, because I would seriously rather you come to me where I can give you the correct information than you going out there and just putting any and everything out from the internet or from friends, and sometimes you get wrong information. I know, it's not easy. She didn't say come here every day like a broken record and tell you all parenting is hard. Being responsible for the emotional well-being of another human is not an easy task. I don't think it ever will be. Lamina says it's a curse handed down from slavery, the mentality of that if you do something wrong, you have to get lash. So we have this beat and abuse culture that we think would fix everything. But if you're paying attention, you would see that it hasn't. Anyways, I got 5 minutes. Let me just touch this quickly. But I just wanted to have that conversation. And again, please, 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 parents. Know it's hard. Know you're overwhelmed sometimes. You're frustrated sometimes. Life, you have your own issues, the bills to pay, this, that, and the other. But you also have a responsibility to your child or children as well. I know some of you are trying, but try a little harder. Because if anything happens, you're the first one they call. Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, I'll go.
You just commented on something that touched me, and I had to just give my 2 cents. Bear with me. Beat and abuse culture. And a person went back to slavery and that whole idea. Let's stop this victim mentality early about because it was slavery. Slavery been around long before the African and West Indian and American plantations that they've had. It's been around long before that. So sticking on that doesn't make any sense. We've had slaves that built Egypt long before. We have had slavery in tribal cultures long before. So this thing about, master beaters, so we had to beat you, that doesn't make any sense. If capital punishment was something that was applicable and you saw the reward for sticking to it at the time, go ahead. But limiting yourself to the types of punishment, if that's going to work for you, it's still to be tested out. But in my generation growing up and my predecessors, it helped. We are where we are because that was one of the options. You have a disciplinarian that you would fear when you know something was wrong, you did something wrong, you actually, okay, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. And now I know the consequence of doing that. But just cut the idea,
But I know of instances where corporal punishment has been administered and children still go about doing the same thing they were beaten for.
Correct. And I agree.
Is it effective?
Everything will not
especially
work for everyone.
in this time we live in now, with these children that we're dealing with now. You think beating them would work?
Let me just ask. Just asking. Compared to 50 years ago, or even compared to 50 years ago. Let's go 50 years ago. 50 years ago, we did not have the invention, access to things like television in every home, a phone in every home, a car in every home.
Internet.
We always want better. We always want better, right? So I walk to school. I want my kids to drive to school. And my kids would want my grandchildren to fly to school. That is hope, vision, and aspiration. But hard times, which we consider back then was hard times, create hard men, hard people who are suited to that environment. And they, in return, would work harder to develop for better. But once you make everything easier and easier, appreciation for what was done is going to be lost. How many companies, how many legacy companies, we know a few of them in Grenada here, that the grandparents and the forefathers and so on worked hard, and today they were dismantled. All right? If something worked back then, it's not necessary to say that it's not going to work now. We have a mentality, oh, well, I fight up when I was young, I don't want my children to fight up now. There's a reason why you created that aspiration for better for yourself, because there was a challenge. You have persons that you look up to in society or even in the greater world that sit down every day and explain to their children, even if they have $1 million in the bank, this is why you work hard every morning. This is why you wake up early. This is why you aspire for something greater. What I have will be yours, or what I have is already there waiting for you.
So
But
are
you
you
need to
saying
have
that
your
in
own.
2023 you're all for beating children still?
Leave it as an option. Removing it makes absolutely no sense. If it worked for centuries before,
It
why
didn't
all of
work.
a
Nobody
sudden-
liked to be beaten. You get
No
beaten
one
but you
likes to
didn't
be
like
beaten.
it.
No one likes punishment. Human nature is punishment. It's a form of punishment. Just as
I'm against it. I don't
removing
think
the death
anybody has the right to
removing
like
the death
physically
penalty.
put their hand or put piece of wood or beat. I don't know. I just don't think it's
And
right.
as
Because
a
to
young
me,
lady,
that
as a young
contributes
lady
to
growing up,
abuse.
I agree to that.
Because what is
That
to
is
stop a
not-
man?
that's
What
not
is
your
to
role.
stop a man from saying, you know what? That's the reason why I beat my girlfriend, because I see my father used to beat me, and he used to beat my mother. What is to stop them from using that as an excuse?
Disciplining a child as a form of correction in his adolescence.
They'd have man that does want to
has
discipline you
nothing
as
to
a big
do-
woman.
Has nothing
and want to beat
do
you because of
with
control the same way.
spousal abuse. No, incorrectly administered, wrong is wrong. I do not. I did not. I'm not responsible
Right.
for my spouse's action.
My mother always used
As
to
a
say, "You have
spouse.
1,000,001 ways to to hang a cat without putting a rope
A million
around
ways
it."
to skin a cat. Correct. So why remove one out of the million ways? Why are we so? That is the one thing we want to remove. Oh, go sit in the corner. Oh, give me your phone. You're banned from the phone. Oh, you're grounded. Yes, those are all options. But if you should know your child. If you literally remove all options except one that you consider to be extreme, which is still considered to be relatively, I can't say it will leave any kind of physical scars. If you're physically scarring a child or anyone, that is abuse. That is abuse. There's a limit. If you enjoy beating, if you enjoy administering, that also is a problem.
But most of the
should
times,
hurt you.
parents
It should hurt you to hurt someone.
parents don't beat with a plan. They're not gonna be okay. Like, here's what I'm gonna beat you because you
not
did such
ev-
and such. A
not
lot of
everyone.
parents in anger. In the
Correct.
moment,
That's
when something
correct. And
happens,
that is wrong.
is when
As
the
I said,
rain
I'm not saying
blows.
what is wrong.
I've seen
I'm not saying
I've
what is
seen a
wrong.
man take a cutlass and wrap it around his son's back, plats, and that cutlass mark
yeah.
stayed on his back for weeks when I was growing up.
Gr-
For
and
weeks.
That, as I said,
That- I
is
don't know,
wrong.
that could
Let
be-
us not mix, for example, let us not mix the few
Our Caribbean
instances of
parents don't
extremity.
sit and say, you know what, come here, John. Oh, I'm gonna beat you because you messed up the house. Is where they hold you, whatever they hold you with, pan, bucket, spoon, whatever they have in their hand at the moment you do something wrong, you get it in anger. I've
Let me
never
praise-
seen or heard
let
of,
me praise-
come
let me
little
praise
Johnny,
my
I don't like
parents.
what you did. Let me put 2 slap on your
Let me
hand.
praise
No.
my parents for the way in which they used corporal punishment when I was growing up. My mom, and this is the fear you had, when you were in primary school, actually, you're a little bit more good, you have a little bit more sense. When you're in secondary school, you're fiddling, you're fondling, you're playing the fool, you do something, you strike someone, you fight, and so on, and because you're not supposed to do that, okay. The form master is given opportunity to give you punishment. If the form master says, you know what, 3 strokes or 4 strokes, you know in your mind, and this is how I grew up, you know in your mind you did something wrong. That is one of the forms, that's one of the potential forms of punishment that will be administered. And that's the one you fear the most. That's the one you fear the most. Okay, it's done. Now, someone who's teaching in school, who's a friend of the family, oh, you know, he fight in school and they had to cane him, they had to beat him, or they had to give him strokes. It got back to the home. The first person to get upset and emotional about it. Why is my child embarrassing me and so on? The mother. My mom would have been the one, oh, you wasn't supposed to do that. Tell you better than that. You can't be outside here and making me look bad here. You have to raise your parents. No.
We had to continue the
You
conversation
get
because
the
our
second cut
time.
skin
So
when you reach.
we had to do a follow-up.
And then when mommy tell you at the end, this is what gives you bone chills. Wait till your father get home. You think daddy coming home and rage just to be? No, he has to administer it, and that is discipline. Like, okay, that's fair. Or don't watch TV. Don't let me catch you watching TV when I get home. I got creative. You ain't gonna catch me. I'll watch it, but you ain't gonna catch me watching TV out of fear and respect for the decision to have that sort of discipline administered. Every single thing has its place and its purpose. Not everything every time. And I agree to you. You shouldn't be hitting your spouse, shouldn't be hitting your lover, and you should not be abusing your child. But that still has a place. That's just one. It's not slavery, but that is just one thing we need to understand.
We need to do another follow-up because I had to go now. So
there we go.
We follow up tomorrow, please God.
All right.
Yeah, because I really want to get some more thoughts on yeah.
A lot of people going to hear my voice and they will give me when they see me, but that is just my opinion.
All right, got you. Later.
The views shared here is not that of the station and or the host.
Thank you very much.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, I think we need to have the conversation because and I'm sure there are many others who will share his sentiment, and there are others who would share my sentiment, no to beating or corporal punishment of the kind. Because I believe now in 2023, where children are so addicted to other things like the social media, the TikTok, the this, the phone, the tablet, the laptop, the music thingy, whatever, the games. To me, that is more effective, especially if you know it's something they like doing. They like going to the movies, okay? You will not behaving yourself, you're not going. Take away your tablet, take away your phone, until you start to act right. So I'm going to give you books, you sit here in front of me and read, and I'm going to keep your phone right next to you with the volume on so you can hear all your notifications going off for your messages. But you can't touch your phone. But I just don't think that in 2023 we should be beating a child or children to do as we say, to bend to your will, as punishment. Because I've been beaten. And I know, okay, what I did, I'm going to get lashed for it. So, well, you know what? Just prime up yourself and hope they and hit you in a place that will hurt you more or bruise you up or do something of the sort. You know? So, at the end of the day, I guess different strokes for different folks. But I don't think it works. That's just my personal belief. I really don't think it works the way it's supposed to. Or people seem to think it does. I don't think so. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place for another show, and of course, final one for the week tomorrow. So thank you so much, Western Union, and everybody who tuned in. Thank you so much for your input on the live. Hope you guys have bye. Everybody on the live, thank you so much and have a great Wednesday. All right, I'll see you all tomorrow.